98.7 CKPM FM.
Tri-City Radio, 98.7 CKPM FM. That is Jan Hammer, the theme from Miami Vice, and Jenn is here. And Jenn, you know why I played that song, don't you?
No.
Oh, did you see Christian when he walked out? He had his white linen suit with the shoes and no socks on, so all I thought of was Don Johnson.
I did catch him walking in. I felt a little underdressed, I have to say.
You look fantastic. You're getting a bit of a suntan.
I am, yes. Lots of time being spent outside in Coquitlam Gardens. So
nice. And I've got to do that because I look like I've been suntanning in a flower factory. That's how white I am. So you're here again. You can be my unofficial co-host. You've been here more than I have lately.
I know. I was going to say, I was like, thanks for having me back. It's always great to come in here. And
it's an open door. You're welcome to come back anytime for anything. You bought a plant with you today. What's going on?
I did. I brought you one of our Coquitlam Dahlias, so you can now have our official flower of the year.
Nice.
Normally, they're only available if you spin our prize wheel or at one of our events. We're at Teddy Bear Picnic, Daisy Days. Very hot commodity, very coveted, yes. But you get to have one for always having me back.
Well, that is very nice, and I didn't bring you anything.
That's okay. Just having me on the show is good enough. This is nice. We're getting the message out about Coquitlam in Bloom and getting everyone excited about the national competition.
And I've done that. I've driven around a lot of Coquitlam, like your area, the Inspiration Garden there on the corner of Pipeline and Guilford, right?
Yeah.
So the bee, the octopus has finally got a friend. That flower has finally got the bee on top. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a cornerstone of the whole Coquitlam in Bloom, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So there's the garden there. We have our signature 125th garden, which is by the Performance Plaza. I know our gardeners have worked really hard on that, so that will be there. And we also have the unveiling of our Coquitlam Rose, which is going to be this weekend on July 3rd at 2 p.m. at the Pacific Fraser Rose Society's Rose Show.
And where is that Rose Show?
It is at the Dogwood Pavilion. Okay. So it's happening this weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, but the unveiling will happen on Sunday.
And the Dogwood Pavilion's up at Poyer there.
It is, yeah.
Perfect. Now, like I said, I started driving around and noticing the area and all of the great gardens, and just the people are taking care of their lawns and their gardens. It looks great.
I know. I actually had the same thought yesterday as I was driving down to the Inspiration Garden. Everything looked beautiful along Pipeline. All the yards were tended to. The grass was cut. Trees were looking good. And I think it's also, too, because of the rainy June we've had, the plants aren't under drought stress yet. So we've been a little bit lucky. Should hold off. The judges come on July 20th and 21st.
Nice.
So we're going to be able to. And now that everyone's garden is looking good, we're inviting people to send in the photos of their garden. If it's a huge garden, if it's a small plant they're proud of, something on their balcony, especially photos if you are lucky enough to receive our Coquitlam Flower of the Year, the Dahlia. Take a photo of it, send it in to parkspark@coquitlam.ca, and we're going to put them into a gallery and post it on our website.
Great. Now, you being the gardening goddess you are, when I plant this dahlia, what should I do with it? Where should I put it? Does it want direct sunlight?
It does. It wants full sun. They sometimes can get a little bit upset if they have full afternoon sun. So don't put it up against a concrete wall where the heat's going to reflect off onto it. But full sun is fine. Plant it, water it, like I said, deadhead it. So when the flowers start to look a little bit spent and they're falling apart, just cut the flower off, and that will make sure that it keeps blooming throughout the season.
You mean I've got to work now?
I know, yes. With this plant comes great responsibility, and I'm giving it to you in the hopes that...
Well, I shall name him Robert.
There you go.
Robert the plant.
Robert the plant, yeah, and you'll take good care of him, and he'll last with blooms until October, and then you can dig up the tuber, it's a tuber, and overwinter it, or you can take a chance and overwinter it in your garden. They're somewhat frost tender, so it depends on how cold of a winter we're going to get if it survives.
So these are perennials then, right?
They are, yeah. Okay, look at you. I was going to say, you had the gardening background. So.
I did, and I remember the variegated stuff and this goes back to high school. I worked in gardens in high school, so plants were my life back then, and I still remember some of it.
Exactly. So that's why I gave you the Dahlia, because I know you'll be able to take care of it. And if people want one of their own, they can come out to the neighborhood night. So Thursday at Bramblewood.
Yes.
6 p.m. Our worker Arnie will be there. Great guy. You can try and talk him into giving you a flower, but he's had to be very, very strict because they are such a hot commodity and we have a limited supply.
Nice.
And you can also try your hand at the Coquitlam in Bloom Canada Day booth at Canada Day at Town Centre Park. We'll be there as well.
Yeah, the Canada Day stuff is going to be fantastic. Of course, you've got the new plaza there. You're going to be down there with your hubby and everything, celebrating and working, right?
Yeah, I'll be working. He probably won't be there. Maybe if he's nice, he'll bring me a drink or something like that. It gets quite hot there. So,
what's his name?
Cameron,
we need 3 Mike's hard lemonades. One for me, one for you, and one for Kathleen.
There we go. Yes, we've been working really hard. So
excellent. Did we cover everything we need to cover, Jen?
I think we did. Yeah. Excellent. The main thing was if people want to see the Coquitlam Rose, it's planted in the beds now. So we have it down at the Inspiration Garden. We have it at City Hall, Mackin Park, and up at the Rose Garden, which is tended to, I must say, a huge thank you to all the great volunteers with the Fraser Pacific Rose Society. They've been taking care of the Centennial Rose Garden for over 25 years. So all volunteers, all doing a great job.
And the funny thing about some of these gardeners, some just go out it's like, oh yeah, we'll just have some fun. And then there's some that are so strict, like that school librarian, and that's the way they look at things. So you get different kinds of people meshing together here to make this a success.
Exactly, yeah. I'm the type of gardener where anything goes. So yeah, when I have the volunteers down at the Inspiration Garden, they're like, Jennifer, we accidentally pulled this out. I'm like, it's a plant. It wants to survive. It will come back. So I'm... different types.
You're going to be a great mother.
Yes. Anything goes.
Anything goes. One last question.
Yes.
The dahlias, are they all the same color or are they different colors?
No, there are different colors. I think right now we only have about 10 pinks left, but we have given out yellow ones. I believe we had a deep red one, and right now we have the peach one, and I think this is the prettiest one. So we have peach ones to give away for neighborhood nights and Canada Day.
So if I name him Robert, he's peach, Robert the plant, is that going to be still a good name even though it's peach color?
I think so. He'll be fine with it. He'll be okay.
Excellent. Jenn Urbaniak, City of Coquitlam. Excellent. We'll see you at the summer nights tomorrow, the neighborhood nights at Westwood Plateau, and then we'll see you on Canada Day over at Town Centre.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
The all-new Nissan Titan XD powered